Good morning, boys and girls. Starting off with a happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday's probably my favorite teaching day of the week. Ready to move into our lesson for today for carpet reading time. Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. Remember, in science, we're talking about animals. In reading, we're in the Laura Numeroff series, and today's feature is If You Give a Pig a Party. On Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, Mrs. Sheppard in the classroom, room 137. Ms. Thompson doing all of our behind the scenes technical things, keeping our videos rolling at home. A little salute to Miss Carter this morning. Let's do a couple of musical instruments. I don't think we've done this one. And let's do, this is a Miss Shep favorite. That one makes me want to dance. And right into some science. Animals, and more animals. We all love animals. We've been talking about different types of animals, different classifications and categories of animals. So I'm going to give you a couple of animal sounds. And we're going to move right into our animal song. We're going to review the different types of animals we've talked about. Sure hope my pen is working. Oh yes, we've been talking about mammals, birds, fish, little scroll, reptiles, amphibians, and insects. One category or group we talked about that wasn't a part of our Have Fun Teaching song is arachnids, and arachnids include spiders. So let's go through and let's do our 7 types of animals together. We have mammals, should hear you from home, birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians, insects, and arachnids. Our animal song, we've been focusing on this first chunk. Mammals have lungs that breathe the air. That means mammals have lungs that help them breathe. Mammals are warm-blooded bodies that have fur or hair. Mammals have fur or hair. Mammals give birth to their living young. That means mammal mothers give birth to babies who are living. Mothers give milk to their daughters and sons, meaning mammals give milk to their babies. Dogs say roof, cats say meow, cows say moo, humans say wow, monkeys say ooh, 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 horses say neigh, elephants say pff, dolphins say click, 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 move like a mammal, now dance like a mammal. Some examples of mammals from our song. We have dogs, cats, cows, humans, monkeys, horses, elephants, and dolphins. I told you on Monday, I believe it was, that we were going to do our animal song at the end. Ran out of time, didn't get to it. I'm hoping we'll get to it today. If we do, we'll come back at the end. If we don't, we'll just move that on to another day. You know, sometimes in class, we just don't finish all Mrs. Sheppard has planned. Laura Numeroff, and more Laura Numeroff. Just show me the Laura Numeroff. Laura Numeroff wrote the books in the If You Give a, If You Take a series, and that is a photo of Laura Numeroff. We are going to do our quick little song today to get our brains thinking about our new book for today. So I need you to be good listeners at home. This is quick. You should have this one memorized by now.
He gave the mouse a cookie.
And these are the books that we are either going to be reading or we've already read in the Laura Numeroff series. We started with If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. We moved to If You Give a Moose a Muffin. We read If You Give a Pig a Pancake. If You Take a Mouse to the Movies. If You Take a Mouse to School. That was our yesterday's book. And today's book by Laura Numeroff is going to be If You Give a Pig a Party. So we're going back to pigs. We read a book about a pig. We read about a pig in If You Give a Pig a Pancake. And today it's going to be If You Give a Pig a Party. So let's scroll down to our title. If You Give a Pig a Party. Arthur, we know our Arthur's our person that wrote the book. Laura Numeroff. Illustrator, Felicia Bond. Genre, fiction. Genre, fantasy. Arthur's purpose, to entertain. Shifting my camera to my rocking chair. Ready for our book on the carpet this morning. Yesterday was If You Take a Mouse to School. Today is If You Give a Pig a Party. I need you to have wide eyes, big ears, good listening from home. This is my what, boys and girls? Yes, my book jacket. This would be my what? Yes, my title page. And on my title page today is also my dedication page. For my mother and father, F.B. That was Felicia Bond. For Emily and Larry, cut now with lots of love. L.N. and that's Laura Numeroff. That's who the author and illustrator dedicated this book, If You Give a Pig a Party, to. We see we have another title page, which includes our title, our author, our illustrator, and look at that little pig standing on all those party hats. What three-dimensional figure does that party hat look like as we're working on geometry? Yes, it looks like a cone. And my copyright page, right into our story for today. As we're reading, I want you thinking about circular endings, noticing if this book, like the other books in the Laura Numeroff series, if this book also has a circular ending. I want you as readers from home making predictions. I want you thinking about the protagonist or main character. I'm already predicting the main character is going to be a pig. I want you to be thinking about the sequence of events, the events in the correct order from the book or the story. Also want you to be thinking about cause and effect. Cause is what happens. Effect is the result. Yesterday was If You Take a Mouse to School. The cause was taking a mouse to school. The effect was the mouse was going to want a lunchbox. So cause is what happens. Effect is the result. If you give a pig a party, she's going to ask for some balloons. I noticed my pig is a female. My mouse yesterday was a male. My pig is a female. So if you give a pig a party, cause, she's going to ask for some balloons, effect. When you give her the balloons, she'll want, of course, to decorate the house. Balloons are great for decorating. When she's finished, she'll put on her favorite dress. She's dressed up. It kind of reminds me of Eliza and Mia when they come in dressed up on my Happy Happy Friday when we don't have a uniform day. They lots of times will wear a pretty dress to school. I'm making a text to self. Then, after she puts on her favorite dress, then she'll call all her friends to invite them to the party. Of course, if you have a party, you want your friends to come. Her friends won't be home, so you'll go with her to look for them. Notice the party hat came off. On the way, she'll see a street fair. A street fair is a fair that's set up on a street. She'll want you to take her on the bumper cars. The bumper cars are those cars you might ride at a fair or an amusement park. Most kids love the bumper cars. All her friends will be there. I see mouse. I see moose. I see a dog. I see a cat. Then you'll have to take her on all the rides. She'll want to play all the games too. You go to a fair or an amusement park, lots of rides, lots of games. When she's done, she'll ask you for some ice cream. Text to self, Mrs. Sheppard loves ice cream. When she's finished eating the ice cream, she'll need to change her clothes. You'll have to take her home. I'm inferring that she's going to need to change her clothes, maybe because she spilled some ice cream on her fancy dress. She'll ask her friends to come along. On the way, she'll start a game of hide and seek. Text to self. When I was a little girl, used to love to play hide and seek. And I see different animals are hiding in different places. I wonder where you would hide if you were playing hide and seek. When you finally get home, you'll have to make dinner. I'm inferring from all the games and the rides and the hide and seek, I'm inferring the characters are hungry. Then she'll want to have a sleepover. You'll have to find pajamas and blankets and pillows for everyone. When she sees the pillows, she'll probably start a prediction. As readers, what do you think she's going to start? You guessed it, a pillow fight. Most kids and even grown-ups love to have a pillow fight. Then she'll make a fortress out of blankets. Now I'm using context clues and I'm using picture clues to infer that a fortress looks like something similar to a tent, but she made her fortress out of blankets. Of course, when she's finished, she'll want to decorate it. So she'll ask for some prediction. What do you think she's going to ask for to decorate her tent? Some balloons. And chances are, if you give her some balloons, make a prediction. What do you think she's going to ask for? She's going to ask you for a party. So cause and effect, if you give a pig a party, she's going to ask for some balloons. And when you give a pig some balloons, she's going to ask for a party. Just like in my other books in the Laura Numeroff series, we started with, if you give a pig a party, and we ended with, she's going to ask you for a party. So once again, this was a full circle book that had a circular ending. We're going to go right into my teaching points for today. We just talked about, once again, Laura Numeroff's book had a full circle, circular ending. I want to go into one other teaching point for today. That gives us an example of Arthur's craft. Arthur's craft is when authors have certain techniques they like to use in their writing. And as we're reading different books by an author in a series, we sometimes notice that an author will repeat certain techniques, and we call that author's craft. Laura Numeroff loves to have full circle, circular ending books. My protagonist in If You Give a Pig a Party, my main character, oh, Miss Sheppard made a mess up on this. I'm going to change it. I did not change my slide. I hope I'm on the right slide. No, that's the problem, boys and girls. Miss Sheppard's on the wrong slide. This is where I should be. Remember that author's craft. I'm going to actually rewrite it. Sorry, guys. I sometimes do that in class. I Fruit Loop and I click on the wrong slide. But luckily, when I'm in class, you're usually here to say, Miss Sheppard, I think you made a mistake and you're on the wrong smartboard slide. Arthur's craft, Laura Numeroff likes to go full circle, circular endings. We were talking about the protagonist. That's why I knew I was on the wrong slide. Main character in this book was a pig, and a pig is a mammal. As we were reading, we were making predictions. We were thinking about our sequence of events or our events in the correct order. We were also, as readers, thinking about the cause. The cause is what happens. The effect is the result. So let's move. Hope I'm on the right one. Let's move right into our flow map for today. If you give a pig, we started with a party, which would be my cause. The pig would ask for balloons to decorate the house, and that would be my effect. What happens, cause, result, effect. And then after the pig got the balloons, she would put on a favorite dress. Once she's all dressed up, she would call and invite friends to come over. And when she called friends on the phone, she noticed her friends were not home. So she did what any pig would do. She said, I'll have to go look for them. As she went to look, she came to a street fair. Most kids would love to go to a street fair. While she was at the street fair, you got it, she rode the bumper cars with her friends, and then she wanted to ride all the other rides, as most kids would. She wanted to play games. I'm going to make you hungry. She wanted to eat ice cream. After eating the ice cream, she said, well, I need to go home and change my clothes. And as she was going home to change clothes, she said, I will invite my friends to come home with me. On the way home, they played a game of hide and seek. Once they got home, they were going to make dinner. Then it said the pig would want a sleepover. If your friends are at your house, you might say, Mom, Dad, my friends are here. Can they please stay over? Can we have a sleepover? So for a sleepover, the pig would have to find pajamas, blankets, and pillows. Then, of course, if you put all those friends together and you pass out pillows, they're going to have a pillow fight. After the pillow fight, they built a fortress out of blankets. And once they had the fortress, they wanted balloons to decorate the fortress. And the balloons made the pig think about asking for a party. So we ended with a party. We started with a party. So we would say this is a full circle, circular ending book. Arthur's craft, techniques that writers use when they're writing different books. And we know that Laura Numeroff likes to write books that have a full circle or a circular ending. Now, I didn't forget, we're going to go right into our clip for today. This is a reread of If You Give a Pig a Party. One reason, especially since you're at home, we do clips at school as well, but as you're at home, we sometimes at school do Mrs. Sheppard reads the book at one part of the day, and then we come back to the clip maybe a little bit later. The reason I like to go ahead and do that clip is so that you can see the illustrations a little bit better in the clip than you could from my rocking chair. So you need to still have your wide eyes and your big ears as we're going to our clip for today, and I hope I'm on the right one.
If You Give a Pig a Party by Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you give a pig a party, she's going to ask for some balloons. When you give her the balloons, she'll want to decorate the house. When she's finished, she'll put on her favorite dress. Then she'll call all her friends to invite them to the party. Her friends won't be home, so you'll go with her to look for them. On the way, she'll see a street fair. She'll want you to take her on the bumper cars. All of her friends will be there. Then you'll have to take her on all the rides. She'll want to play all the games too. When she's done, she'll ask you for some ice cream. When she's finished eating the ice cream, she'll need to change her clothes. You'll have to take her home. She'll ask her friends to come along. On the way, she'll start a game of hide and seek. When you finally get home, you'll have to make dinner. Then she'll want to have a sleepover. You'll have to find pajamas. And blankets and pillows for everyone. When she sees the pillows, she'll probably start a pillow fight. Then she'll make a fortress out of blankets. Of course, when she's finished, she'll want to decorate it, so she'll ask for some balloons. And chances are, if you give her some balloons, she's going to ask you for a party. The end.
Okay, that was If You Give a Pig a Party clip. Now, this is our second week of books in the Numeroff series. So you know your assignment today is going to be the same as with the other books. If we were at Walton Academy, you would reread my book during your independent reading time. But since you can't do that from home, if you will either listen again to Mrs. Sheppard's read, or if you will rewatch the video clip, and after you do that, you can go ahead and before you take an AR test, I want you to, this is in your packet this week, your flow map for If You Give a Pig a Party. You don't need to write anything. All I want you to do is go back and read through the sequence of events in your flow map. So give me a reread, sequence of events, flow map, and then you should be ready to take your AR test on If You Give a Pig a Party. Now, looking at my time, we are going to go to, that's a wrap for my If You Give a Pig a Party lesson, but let's go ahead and get in that Have Fun Teaching animal song. Let's go ahead and get in that clip today because I've been talking about that for several days. Now, the clip's going to take you through the whole song. Remember, the song is in your shared reading packet. So this is one way to get in your shared reading job for today. Let me see if I can get that song to come up. You're going to like this one.
Meow, 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 meow. Kids these days are addicted to screen time. But
this is the animal song. You can be looking at the words from your shared reading packet. It's going to go through my different types of animals, starting with mammals. Mammals have lungs
that breathe the air, warm-blooded bodies that have fur or hair. Mammals give birth to their living young. Mothers give milk to their daughters and sons. Dogs say roof, cats say meow, cows say moo, humans say wow, monkeys say horses say elephants say dolphins say click, 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 move like
This
a
is your
mammal.
chance to move around.
Move like a
Move like a mammal.
now.
Dance like a mammal.
Dance like a mammal.
Dance like a mammal.
Dance like a mammal.
Now the next part we've not gone over together. This is going to talk about birds. Birds have beaks.
But they don't have any teeth. Flying high in the sky and they can walk on 2 feet. Birds lay eggs and are warm-blooded creatures.
They have backbones and they are covered with feathers.
Birds say
Tweet, tweet,
birds say
tweet, tweet,
birds say
tweet, tweet,
birds say
tweet, tweet,
birds say
tweet, tweet.
birds say tweet, tweet, birds say tweet, tweet, birds say tweet, tweet. Move like a bird, move like a bird, move like a bird, move like a bird.
Now dance like a bird.
Dance like a bird.
Move around.
Like a bird. Dance like a bird.
Moving into fish.
Fish have fins and are covered with scales.
They swim in the water and breathe with their gills.
Fish skeletons are made of cartilage or bones. They live in fresh water.
Salt water, oceans, and ponds.
Fish say, fish say, fish say, fish say, fish say, whoosh, whoosh, fish say, whoosh, whoosh, fish say, whoosh, whoosh, fish say, whoosh, whoosh.
Move like a fish.
Move like a fish.
Move around.
Move like a fish. Move like a fish. Now dance like a fish.
Dance at
Dance
home.
like a fish. Dance like a fish. Dance like a fish.
Moving to reptiles. Reptiles
Use their lungs to breathe. They have claws on their feet and use the sun for heat. Reptiles have scales and lay eggs on the land. They are cold-blooded animals with no sweat glands. Snakes say, snakes say, snakes say, snakes say, alligators say, jump, jump.
I love this part. Chomp, chomp.
Alligators say,
Chomp, chomp.
alligators say,
Chomp, chomp.
move like a snake, move like a snake,
Move around at home.
move like a snake. Now dance like a turtle.
Get some of those wiggles out.
Dance like a turtle. Dance like a turtle.
Amphibians, our next group of animals. Let me hear you from home. Amphibians live on the land and in the water,
Their babies have gills,
but metamorphosis takes over.
their skin is moist and they don't have scales. Salamanders can grow back their arms, legs, and tails. Frogs say, ribbit, ribbit. Frogs say,
Ribbit, ribbit,
Frogs say,
ribbit, ribbit,
Frogs say,
ribbit, ribbit.
Toads say, Toads say, Toads say, Toads say, jump like a frog, jump
Jump at home.
jump like a frog,
Jump like a favorite parts. You should be seeing a lot of these outside in nature. Insects have an exoskeleton. They have a head
a thorax,
and an abdomen.
Most have wings, but they all have 6 legs.
They have 2 antennae and they lay a lot of eggs.
Bees say, bees say, bees say, bees say, crickets say,
Chirp, chirp,
crickets say,
chirp, chirp.
crickets say, crickets say.
Get ready to move around. Move like a bug. Move like a bug. Move like a bug. Now dance like a bug. Dance like a bug.
Dance like a bug.
Dance like a bug. Mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians, insects. I'm glad we finally got that in. That was our animal song. That took you all the way through from the beginning to the end. The only group of animals that the song did not talk about that we've talked a little bit about are arachnids. Now that's a good stopping point for today. Remember, after you watch the video, remember I need you to go back, do a reread, go back over the flow map, and then get in your AR test for today, helping you on that AR goal. That's a good stopping point for today. I hope you have a happy Tuesday, and I'll see you a little later for our math lesson for today. I hope you have a great day.